Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. See, in yesterday's class, we have discussed till magnetocoil ignition system. Today, we'll discuss the rest. It means, I will first show you the syllabus copy. See, this is your syllabus. Here, we discussed till magnetocoil ignition system. Till here, yesterday, and rest all the things we'll discuss today. So, let us first see the construction of battery. Okay.
नमस्कार दोस्तों स्वागत
Shobhan, can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
है आपका द ऑटोमोटिव्स में आप जब बैटरी को
See, look at this. I don't play entire video. I just explain you with figure.
हो जाए
See, this is your battery. Okay, we'll have H2SO4 inside, H2SO4 and water. This is lead and this is lead oxide. Okay, so now what happens is when you pour H2SO4 in this, the ions will get separated. It means PbO2 will react with sulfur and this Pb will react with hydrogen. It means all positive will come this side and all negative will come this side. As a result, the current starts flowing. Okay, so the battery will supply the electricity in this way. And now when your engine starts, the battery will see here the chemical energy is getting converted to electrical energy. Once the engine starts, the electrical energy will again get converted to chemical energy. In that process, what happens is means during that process, so much of heat will get released and all the water present in this will get evaporated. As a result, the concentration of H2SO4 will increase. As concentration is increasing, in order to dilute it again, we pour water into the battery. So that is the reason why we pour water into battery. So this is the construction, and let us see some more. Ah, you look here, we have positive plate and negative plate. Whatever the yellow color sheet you're finding is a positive plate and green color is a negative plate. So like this, you have combination of plates. You have 6 partitions like this. In 6 partitions, you have three sets of positive and negative terminals, and all these things will be connected in series. So the positive side of this will be connected to the positive side of first and negative side of the last will be connected to the circuit. So this is how the battery system will work. So in battery we'll have H2SO4 and lead oxide. Means you have all chemicals inside. This chemical energy will be converted to mechanical energy. It means electrical energy. The electrical energy will get converted again to the chemical energy. So this is how you have the construction of your battery. Okay. Next.
Fuel cell కూడా అనొచ్చు కదా మ్యామ్ దాన్ని.
Fuel cell. Next. Next one is electronic ignition system using contact breaker. See, you look here. I'll explain you the purpose of each and every component here. The first one is battery. This is the ignition switch. It means to on and off the power supply from battery to the electrical control. Okay. So now what happens is the current will pass from battery through the switch to this ECU, electrical control unit. And now the purpose of this electrical control unit is to sense all the things. This will be what do you say, programmed. So it will see the position of armature. It means the position of armature will depend upon the rotation of the camshaft. Okay, and now depending on the position of the armature, this will give indication to which, to the sparking plugs. It means if there will be some firing order, so you have to give signals to ignite this. It means ignite the first one, ignite the second one, ignite the third one, like this. So this ECU, engine control unit, will take care of this ignitions. So here what happens is the current will pass from battery. So here you have an ignition switch. It means it will allow the current to pass from battery to ECU. This is the ignition coil. It means it will increase the voltage here. This is the armature. The inside shaft which you are seeing here is connected to your camshaft. When this armature is rotating, see, when this comes in contact with magnet, it will pick the signals and it will send that signals to ECU, engine control unit. It will give the same signal to ignition coil. From ignition coil, this voltage will get distributed with the help of distributor. So depending upon the signal which we got from engine control unit, the spark plug will ignite. So this is how, this is using contact breaker. So this is here, when these two comes in contact, you'll have a contact, and when it goes, the contact will break. So this is electronic ignition system using contact breaker. And next one is using trigger. In case of trigger, you see here, it will sense the position of camshaft, and this will sense the see, this is crankshaft, and this will sense the, this is camshaft, and these two red color ones are the sensors. This is camshaft, this is crankshaft, and these are the sensors. So now this sensor will go to engine control unit. All these things will go to engine control unit. Similarly, the power supply from the battery will go to engine control unit with the help of this ignition switches. So this is ignition control module. So whatever the yellow color boxes you are seeing here are the coil packs. So now depending upon the signal which we get from engine control unit, the spark plugs will ignite. So this ignition will take place based on the position of camshaft and crankshaft. So this one we call it as triggering mechanism. Okay. Next one is spark advance and retard mechanism. Spark advance is igniting before required is advance. Okay. Delaying is called retard. It means you'll have spark plug inside our automobile. If it is igniting at the right time, then okay. If it is not igniting at the right time, it means either it will be igniting before, or or if not, it is igniting later. If it is igniting before, we call it as spark advance. If it is igniting later, we call it as spark retard. So in order to eliminate this, here we have some mechanism. So here what happens is, this is cam, these are the weights, and these are springs. Now what happens is, when your camshaft is rotating at higher speeds, the weights will come out like this because of centrifugal force. As a result, depending upon the speed of the engine, the ignition will take place. So there is no chance of advance or retard things. Okay, as you have weights here, the weights will come out because of the centrifugal force. When it is coming out, the spark will generate. Okay, this is spark ignition and retard mechanism. Next one is electrical system. The electrical system will comprises a storage battery, generator, starter, it means cranking motor, lightning system, ignition system, and various accessories and controls. Originally, the electrical system of the automobile was limited to the ignition equipment. So here, in case of electrical system, we should discuss about all the things like battery, the lightings which you have, how the wiper moves, how the horn moves, how the indicators will work, how the ignition system will work. So all these things we should, everything in the automobile is controlled with the electrical system only, except engine. Even the engine also, at the beginning we start using the motor, and once the motor starts working, the engine will rotate and it will give back the energy to motor. It means energy to the battery. So mostly all the components will depend upon the electrical system only. So let us first see the charging circuit.
नमस्कार दोस्तों तो स्वागत है आपका द ऑटोमोटिव्स में और आज हम बात करेंगे व्हीकल चार्जिंग सिस्टम कैसे काम करती है। तो है बैटरी के चार्जिंग टेक्निक्स की, तो नॉर्मली दो टेक्निक है। पहली है कांस्टेंट वोल्टेज चार्जिंग और दूसरी है कांस्टेंट करंट चार्जिंग। तो इन दोनों मेथड में से कांस्टेंट वोल्टेज चार्जिंग यूज होती है व्हीकल की बैटरी को चार्ज करने के लिए। तो अब बात करते हैं व्हीकल की बैटरी की। तो व्हीकल की बैटरी नॉर्मली डायरेक्ट करंट के ऊपर ऑपरेट होती है और उसे चार्ज करने के लिए जो अल्टरनेटर लगाया जाता है वो प्रोड्यूस करता है अल्टरनेटिव करंट। तो पूरी चार्जिंग सिस्टम का मेन पर्पस यही है कि अल्टरनेटिव करंट को प्रॉपर अमाउंट में कन्वर्ट करके डायरेक्ट करंट बनाया जाए और वही करंट से बैटरी है उसे चार्ज किया जाए। तो अब बात करते हैं सिस्टम के कंस्ट्रक्शन की। तो शुरुआत करते हैं अल्टरनेटर से। तो अल्टरनेटर के अंदर एक होता है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रोटर, जिसे करंट देने पर वो एज अ मैग्नेट काम करता है और उसके सराउंड में कंडक्टर कॉइल्स लगाई जाती है जिसे कहा जाता है स्टेटर कॉइल्स। और नॉर्मली 3 सेट ऑफ कॉइल लगाए जाते हैं, यानी तीनों के तीनों सेट 120 डिग्री के इंटरवल पे होते हैं, यानी कि एक रोटेशन कंप्लीट होने पर तीनों के तीनों जो स्टेटर कॉइल है वो एक बार पॉजिटिव चार्ज सप्लाई कर सके, जिसके मुताबिक हमें 3 फेज करंट सप्लाई आउटपुट के अंदर मिलेगा। अब अल्टरनेटर के बाद जो कंपोनेंट आता है उसका नाम है रेक्टिफायर। रेक्टिफायर के अंदर 3 फेज सप्लाई के लिए 3 अलग-अलग पैर रखी गई होंगी फॉरवर्ड बायस डायोड्स की, और इन तीनों पैरों को कॉमनली कनेक्ट करके 2 आउटपुट दिए होंगे ताकि तीनों की तीनों पैर एक ही कनेक्शन से एक्सेस हो सके। अब जब भी डायोड में 3 फेज करंट दिया जाएगा तो जो पॉजिटिव बायस डायोड है वो अपना काम करेंगे और करंट का पॉजिटिव सप्लाई और नेगेटिव सप्लाई दोनों को सेपरेट कर देंगे, जिसके कारण अल्टरनेटिव करंट डायरेक्ट करंट के अंदर कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा। अब अगर सर्किट की बात की जाए तो अल्टरनेटर के साथ रेक्टिफायर को डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट किया जाएगा और रेक्टिफायर से एक एंड जाएगा बैटरी के पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल के अंदर, जबकि बैटरी का नेगेटिव टर्मिनल एज ऑलवेज अर्थ कर दिया जाएगा और रेक्टिफायर का दूसरा सिरा भी अर्थ कर दिया जाएगा ताकि रेक्टिफायर बैटरी के साथ एक क्लोज सर्किट बना सके। अब बैटरी में से एक लाइन जाएगी वोल्टेज रेगुलेटर के अंदर और वोल्टेज रेगुलेटर के साथ कनेक्ट होगा अल्टरनेटर का रोटर। अब अल्टरनेटर का जो रोटर है उसका नेगेटिव एंड अर्थ कर दिया जाएगा ताकि अल्टरनेटर का रोटर, वोल्टेज रेगुलेटर और बैटरी एक क्लोज सर्किट कंप्लीट कर सके। अब वोल्टेज रेगुलेटर के अंदर जो सिलिकॉन कंट्रोल रेक्टिफायर है वो कनेक्ट होगा बैटरी में से जो पावर आ रहा है उस सिरे के साथ, ताकि बैटरी का पावर जो वोल्टेज रेगुलेटर है वो रेगुलेट कर सके। तो अब बात करते हैं सिस्टम के वर्किंग की। तो अल्टरनेटर का जो रोटर है वो इंजन के टॉर्क को यूज करके रोटेट करेगा। अब इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेट जो है उसे करंट प्रोवाइड करने पर वो बन जाएगा मैग्नेट और जनरेट करेगा एक मैग्नेटिक फील्ड। वो मैग्नेटिक
Can you understand this? Here you have the camshaft and here you have the windings. When this camshaft is rotating, it is creating some magnetic field, and because of which electricity is producing. And now you have three different linings, and here you are producing three-phase current. So these things are connected to the rectifier. So from here, this rectifier will convert the AC current to DC current, and it will supply to the battery. And now if there is any disturbances in the voltage regulator will control the voltage. Okay. Next one, engine starting system. See, you look at here, this is the ignition switch. Okay, this is battery and this is the neutral switch. So once your ignition switch is on, it means when this comes in contact with this circuit, the circuit will get closed. Okay, once it comes in contact with this, the electricity will pass from battery to the neutral switch and from there to the starter motor assembly. So once the ignition switch is on, this green color what do you say link will move forward and makes the flywheel and this pinion to get contact with each other, and this motor will start rotating. So once the motor starts rotating with the help of the power which you are getting from battery, it will transmit the motion to flywheel and flywheel starts rotating. Okay, once the flywheel rotates with high speed, this pinion will come back. Means see, what we'll do is we'll on this ignition switch till your engine gets starts. Once your engine gets starts, we'll stop this ignition switch. As a result, this power supply will stop. When power supply stops, this green color link what you have will move back. As a result, the connection between this pinion and flywheel will get disengaged. Now here there will be no connection between, means there will be no power supply from the battery to the flywheel. Okay, this is how we start the engine. This is engine starting system. Next one is Bendix drive mechanism. Here in Bendix drive mechanism, this is the starting motor. This is armature shaft. This is collar. This is threaded sleeve. This is unbalanced weight. And these are torsion springs. This is sliding dog, and this is flywheel. So here what happens is when this motor starts rotating, this unbalanced weight will also start rotating and it will come forward. Okay, this pinion will come in contact with the flywheel, and now this flywheel will start rotating. Once the flywheel reaches the maximum speed, what happens is because of this threaded, because of unbalanced force, this unbalanced force will move back because of the torsion spring. So once engine gets start, it will move back. But as engine got started, it will take energy from the fuel. It means whatever fuel, I mean petrol or diesel we are using, it will take energy from that and it will continue running. Okay, next one is the solenoid switch. See, in solenoid switch you have a battery here. This is plunger connected, means winded with the wires. So once the circuit is closed, it means when electricity is passing from here, this plunger will move forward and gets in contact with the motor. When it gets in contact with motor, as it is rotating, motor will also start rotating. So this is solenoid switch. Next one is your lighting system. See, we have 4 different types of lights in our automobile: tungsten, halogen bulb, high intensity discharge bulb, LED and laser. We mostly use tungsten halogen bulb. Here you have a tungsten filament and halogen gas filled in the bulb. So now here what happens is tungsten will glow on passing of electricity. Here you have 2 filaments. One inside, one outside. We say means to change the beam of lights. Okay, so what happens is when tungsten is glowing, the halogen gas will help in brightening the light which you are getting. So this is a mostly used halogen bulb. Okay, next one is horn. You remember, you take example of blades which we are using, common blades. So when you just push it like this, it will create some sound. So similarly, here you have some diaphragm. When you are moving this diaphragm, it will create sound, and this sound will get turned into a nice music with the help of tone disc. Now let us see its construction and working. See, these are the terminals. This is the guide spring. This is the armature. This is the contact point. So here you have a winding so that you can create magnetic field. And this outer one is called as housing. A diaphragm is fixed at this housing, and this is the tone disc. Now here what happens is when you press horn, these two will come in contact with each other. When these two come in contact with each other, there will be some magnetic field created here at the windings. Okay, now what happens is because there is a magnetic field here, the armature will move back. Okay, when you remove your hand from the horn switch, now what happens is this contact will break and this will come and hit back with some force. Now as a result, what happens is this diaphragm will move. Because of this movement, the tone disc will produce the sound. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is wiper. Wiper is what you have in front of your car glass. Okay. You see here you have a motor. This motor is connected like this. We say this as warm thread. Okay. This is connected to warm thread. So here what happens is when it is rotating, this sector gear will rotate like this. Okay. It will create rotations. When it is rotating, this sector gear will move up and down. When it is moving up and down, this gear will also move up and down like this. As a result, the wiper will also start moving. Okay, this motor will rotate. This is a circular motion. This is a rotatory motion. From here, it is getting translated to this, but it will just move in arcs like this. And when it is moving in arc, this is also moving. When this moves, the wiper will also start moving. So this is how your car wiper will move. Okay. Next one is your fuel gauge. See, in fuel gauge, we'll have some ball, floating valve. Now, the purpose of this valve is to give the indication of fuel. See, for example, if your fuel is less, then this float means this ball will come at the bottom. Okay. If you have so much of fuel, this will go to top. So here what happens is, here you have a battery. This is ignition switch. And these two are magnetic fields. A and B are magnetic fields. And this is your fuel gauge indicator. So here what happens is, when your ball is at the top, okay, the magnetic field will increase at B. Okay. Now what happens is, this indicator will move towards B. Okay. Now when this is coming down like this, now the magnetic field at A will increase and this will start moving back. Now in case of failure, if there is any failure with this system, now what happens is, irrespective of the position of fuel, this always shows 0, so that the driver will be alert and he'll go for filling up the tank. Okay. So that is about your fuel gauge. That's it. Okay. Any doubts till what I have explained? What's our
No, ma'am.
Shobhan?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Nikhil Shari. Okay, students, those who are present for today's class, please comment your roll number and name in the chat box for the attendance purpose. Chat box lo మీ name, roll number type చేయండి attendance purpose ki.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I wind up the meeting?
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you for coming. Bye.
Thank you.